I'm Emma Morris. I'm a consultant clinical psychologist at the Anna Freud National Centre for Children and Families, where I'm based in the Specialist Trauma and Maltreatment Service. And I'm talking a little bit today about sleep. Signs that a young person may not be sleeping well can be really varied. A young person who's not sleeping well may not necessarily look tired, but they may be quiet or withdrawn. They may be a bit tearful. They may be irritable or confrontational. You just need to think about how poor sleep affects you and the difference in how it affects you and the other people that you know. One thing we do know is that poor sleep is commonly associated with a really broad range of mental health problems. That's not to say that if you're noticing a young person is persistently tired, that they have a mental health problem. It might just be that they need to make changes in their lifestyle, which is quite normal. But it could be that they are having difficulties at home or with their peers, or struggling to manage the stress that teenagers have to manage. Or maybe they're having difficulties with their mood. It can be a sign, it can be a flag for teachers that it might be worth getting that student to one side and just finding out a little bit more about what's going on for them and whether they need a bit of extra help. And teachers can give general messages, for example, around the impact of stress on sleep. Just really straightforward things like how if you've got something on your mind, it can affect your ability to sleep, and then that can affect your ability to work well in school. And so perhaps if there's something bothering you and stopping you sleeping at night, maybe find someone who you can talk to about that, someone who you know and trust. So just general common sense guidelines like that may be obvious to you, but that young people may have not put together in their minds. But they can also give more specific kind of prescriptive advice. One kind of language for that is the idea of sleep hygiene, which is just really a set of ideas or kind of guidelines that promote sleep, not just in young people, but in people of all ages. And there's loads of stuff you can find on the internet around sleep hygiene. It's a really commonly thought about and talked about ideas. But main points include reducing stimulants, things like caffeine and nicotine before bed can really disrupt sleep in the hours before bed. Also, alcohol can disrupt sleep later on at night. All these things are really obvious to us as adults, but perhaps young people who haven't been told this don't realise it. Exercise is a really important one, especially for teenagers. Just 10 minutes exercise a day has been shown to really improve sleep. But, teenagers can get a bit carried away. Don't do a massive workout just before bedtime, so helping them kind of tailor it. Another thing is bedtime routine. So if you have a regular bedtime routine, your body sort of gets programmed into knowing, okay, now it's time to go to bed, I'll be asleep in a minute. So it's doing the same thing every time before you go to bed at night. But again, as a teacher, it's helping young people use their common sense around this. So a nice thing to do would be have a bath or do something gentle that the young person enjoys doing, but not something that they enjoy doing that's emotionally very loaded or very stimulating, like playing computer games or going on social media. That can leave a child feeling quite emotionally charged just before they go to bed when they're worried how many likes they got or what they missed out on. And linked with that is blue screen as well. Blue screen just before bed has been shown to impair sleep quality. So if as a teacher you're worried about a child in your class who seems persistently tired, I would suggest or advise that the next step would be, once you've spoken to the child themselves, maybe to link in with other members of staff and try and build a picture around what is this sleep difficulty or the tiredness about? How is it affecting their learning? And could it be part of a broader problem? Because as I said earlier on, sleep difficulties can be a flag or a signal to teachers that there is some bigger or broader problem that needs to be addressed in order for that child to really be able to function well in school.